Hi, and welcome to my recorded live. How do you like that? I tried my best to get that live working, and I just couldn't get it going. Technology, what can I say? But I'm going to get this out here because this is important to me to do so. And so I'm on here to talk to you about hard conversations and making them easier. This is such an important topic for me, and I'm so glad for the support that you all have given me all along the way. But I need to talk about this because it's so very important. And I have my book, which is thank you for your support in that. Death is not a fire drill. And no, it is not, because the fire drill is in the preparation beforehand. And so let's have this conversation about why this is so important to me and how this happened. And I'll tell you why it happened. Because of the tragedy that occurred in my life. My daughter, Kimberly, at age 8, this was back in 1981, she contracted cardiomyopathy, which is a virus that gets into your heart muscle and causes it to deteriorate. And it did. She didn't get any better. She was sick for a year. I was in and out of the hospital with her for that year, and more in than out. And it was traumatic to say the least, but we hung in there together, and my family was a big support. And let me tell you, it affected everyone. She did end up having to have a heart transplant. She was one of the youngest to do so back then. And she died 6 months later. Her body rejected the heart. I'll tell you, it took me into a tailspin. I'll tell you, you don't know when tragedy will strike or when crisis will come about. You just don't know. And you don't know the age. It does not discriminate. It will hit any age at all. She was 9 years old when she lost her life. And I feel like she saved mine in the process, because I'll tell you what I learned. That trauma of grief is devastating. But what happens when you are in grief? It will bring up all the trauma inside of you that has never been dealt with. All of the things that have never been dealt with will come up inside of you and come to the surface. And I didn't think I would make it through because of that. I said, God, you've got to help me. He said, Gail, do you want to live or die? I said, I want to live, Lord. And he brought me through some mighty powerful and intense healing processes. And I'm so grateful for that. And he allowed me then to become a chaplain, to help others who are going through. I'll tell you, being in that hospital the way I was, it got into my blood. That whole hospital world, and it is a world, it's a different world. And so I was able to go back into that world, become a chaplain, and help others. I was a chronic disease chaplain, helping palliative care patients, and through the process of chronic disease all the way through to death and hospice. And I saw a lot. But I'll tell you what I saw, exactly what happened to me. The trauma of grief, and then multiplied by the trauma that you have coming up inside of you with undealt with issues. And then the trauma that you have from not knowing what your loved ones wanted, not knowing where information is, not knowing what you need to do and how to do it, not having the information you need, and all of that compounded was just devastating to people. I saw it time and time and time again. And it was devastating to see. We tried to help them as chaplains and my fellow chaplains all along the way. Yes, absolutely we did. And we made an impact. But I want to continue this. This has been on my heart for 20 some years. And I'm just getting the book out now that is a downloadable, fillable ebook. Death is not a fire drill. And you can just fill in your information, fill in your passwords, fill in your bank account information, fill in your social security information. But you can also tell your stories in there, which is so important. But listen, what I want to talk to you about today, which is what we talked about, is hard conversations. Having these conversations that go around this, that come around this, that deal with this, that help people to get their information in order. Sometimes you're dealing with a loved one, you're taking care of elderly parents, or you have a loved one who is hesitant to do this. And there's so many reasons why they don't want to. Well, we have time until you don't have time. Like I said, you don't know when crisis will hit. So time is now. It feels too uncomfortable. Listen, it's more uncomfortable on the end where you don't know what information you need or you don't have it than on the preparation end. Believe me, it's more uncomfortable on this side than it is on the side of preparation. Believe me, the preparation actually brings peace. It brings connection. It brings so much peace for your family. And so most people, like I said so many times, they don't do this because they don't care. They don't avoid it because they don't care. They avoid it because they don't know how to begin a lot of times. And I'll tell you, a lot of times it's not just because they have a reason. It's just because we just don't do it. We know we need to do it. I talk to so many people that say, yes, I need to do that. Yes, I do. But they don't do it. They don't do it. So we need to get started. We need to get started. And one of the ways I got started in my family when I was coming up, in my family, we would sit around the dining table, and eat. That was a way to do it. We would sit around and talk. Even as young kids, we did that in my family. My mother was a great cook. We'd sit around, we'd laugh, we'd have all kinds of fun times at the dinner table, just getting to know each other. And I did that with my kids. Growing up, we always ate dinner together. And then as adults, they're adults, and I've got 6 grandkids, and we sit around the table and we talk about all manner of things. And my grandkids, let me tell you, my oldest says, Nani, when am I going to be old enough to sit at the talking table? He calls it the talking table, and I love that because he notices that it's a place of connection. It's a place of love. And we've had hard conversations at that table, let me tell you, but we've gotten through it. We're always going to have hard conversations in families. You're going to have hard conversations with your friends. We have to talk about difficult things with our children. Come on, this is not new to us. So let's take a hold of this important information and do it the way we need to do it. Here's some questions you can ask legacy-wise. Ask Grandma, what are some lessons you'd want your family to remember? Dad, what stories from your life do you want never forgotten? What values mattered most to you? Grandma, what family traditions do you hope continue? What are you most proud of? Listen, all of that's in the book. All of it's in there. And I want you to know you can start leaving legacy information for generations after you. What do you want them to say about you when you're no longer here? What do you want the generations after you or your grandchildren right now? What do you want them to say about you when you're gone? What do you want them to remember about you? Let's start documenting it now. I've left in the notes, in the comments there, I've left this. This is a guide, Having the Conversations Before It's Urgent, a free 1-sheet guide that will help you to get started with these hard conversations. Come on now. And I've also left a link to my book, Death is Not a Fire Drill. Please get it and get started. Please hit the link, scroll down to click to buy and get it and start this process right now because it is so very important. Let us be the generation that makes the difference. 70% of people don't have wills or trusts. 60% of people don't have their medical wishes known. We've got to change that. In our generation, let's be the ones to make the difference and start small. You don't have to fill everything out all at once. You don't have to be overwhelmed. Start small. Start putting things together. I've got a binder. I've put all my documents in. A day at a time, I put some information into my book. And I just keep it going, because whatever information you have is important. And converse, communicate, talk about it. Get a trusted individual in your family. Get a trusted individual to know your medical wishes and will carry it out for you when you're not able to. Come on, let's get started. Let's get it done. I just want to thank you so much for being here with me on that. I wanted you to know why this was so important to me because of what I had been through. And I'm going to carry this on and on and on. You're going to see me on with some more lives, and I'll give you some more information about wills and trusts and about advanced care planning. I'll help you to fill out the forms. I'm going to keep this going, and I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me to get this done and to make it happen. I pray so. And I'm with you. I'm doing it too. God bless you.